Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of HL Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom.
So a few years ago in this country, there was a giant outcry about industries that were losing jobs, losing people. The people weren't trained to take on the next step or the new jobs. The folks were demanding that the government at that time here in this country do something about it. You see, this little industry that was the automobile industry had put horse and buggy makers out of business. And not only that, but a lot of blacksmiths were losing their jobs, and people making buggy whips were losing their jobs left and right. In economics, we call that displaced workers, and it is an issue that every citizen should be concerned about, okay? But it's not an issue that any citizen should want to stop. It's very much in our best interest personally, and as national security, I would even say, rises to the level that sort of innovation continue. My name is Mike Wiginton. This is Tom Farrell. Welcome back to another edition of Common Sense Finance. What we want to talk about today are the disruptive technologies that we're finding that are going on, that we're dealing with right now, ones that are on the verge of changing our lives, in our opinion, by the way, and we want to give you our take on it and maybe how, if you consider yourself an investor or just an average citizen, maybe what you should expect. Tom?
And there's, since the Industrial Revolution, even before that probably, there's always been waves of, okay, we have new technologies that come along and displace the old technologies, and then those hang around for a while and are developed and mature, and then there's always new stuff being developed, and there's this constant change, this wave of change that's going on. You think back to the typewriter, or the VCR, as you call it. We don't have a lot of use for those anymore, but at one time those were big, thriving, industries.
Cutting edge technology.
Cutting edge technology. Remember the electric typewriter?
I do.
Was huge.
It had that little round ball
Yes.
instead of the individual keys.
Yes.
That was the IBM.
That is correct. Yeah. So we want to touch on a couple of new technologies that are out there that are actually already in place, but the advancements they're making in those areas are I think set to start taking over some of the older technologies that's been around for a little while, such as artificial intelligence. You've been reading a lot about this. I know everybody hears things that's going on around this with the automated driving cars and things like that are going to be disruptive. Robotics. Those things have been around for a while, but we're talking about completely automated manufacturing processes, or even I think you gave the example of McDonald's a while back, where there's some McDonald's that are experimenting with this, and we think it'll catch on because the minimum wage goes to $15 an hour, and it's hard to find employees to come do those kind of things, and that may be something.
Well, that's the thing. People talk about $15 an hour and what is our hamburger going to cost, and I'm saying, hey, listen, in order to receive $15 an hour, you actually have to have a job.
Yeah.
And those people,
you got to show up.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you have to have a job to show up at, and those people aren't going to have those jobs. Yeah. McDonald's has been fooling around with robotics at the drive-through window and such for years and years, and so those jobs are not you're not going to have those jobs. They're not going to exist.
Right.
You might have a government entity that mandates that we're going to hire some individuals and we're going to pay them $15 an hour, but in the private marketplace, I think exactly that artificial intelligence, the robotics, is actually going to do away with that.
Yeah, and another technology that's, and you hear a lot about this as well with Tesla and other companies that, energy storage, talking about electric vehicles, and whether the government is going to help subsidize the trajectory of that. It's coming. They may want it to be here maybe sooner than it's actually economically viable, but it's coming, and that's another industry that's going to be disruptive possibly to the fossil fuel industry, the big oil companies, things like that. So those are things that we're always constantly keeping an eye on. We just wanted to share a couple of those with you today, so give you something to think about anyway.
Well, I think you're spot on with that. we don't want to be behind the 8 ball. We certainly are not in any way suggesting that we're guaranteeing or telling you for a fact how this or that's going to change, and we're certainly not suggesting to you at this point an investment program. But we're saying these, as you said, these are programs and technologies that we're watching that we think are going to be significant. It's going to be significant to you as a potential an employee or a business owner, and important to you as an investor. So if that's everything on that, we'll see you next time.